What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome to another stimulus check update. So what I want to do right now, I got a lot of questions earlier on this morning, got a lot of questions yesterday and over the weekend as well. So what I want to do right now is I want to address your questions, some of the most common questions that I'm getting right now from you guys. So you ask these questions in the comments. Sometimes I don't get a chance to answer all the comments. So here's my chance to answer these for you. So if you have any questions regarding the stimulus checks, the next bill, which is most likely going to be either some form of a China package, according to Senate Majority Chuck Schumer, or it's either going to be President Biden's Build Back Better plan that deals with infrastructure. So if you have questions on any of that stuff, stocks, finances, or even business, please ask your questions down in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. Now, let's get into the questions that I've been getting. First, I want to touch on the $2,000 per month stimulus checks because we're getting more proposals out there for this. Now, here's what you need to understand. There's proposals for $2,000 per month for the entirety of this pandemic. There's $2,000 per month for every single American for the entirety of the pandemic plus 1 year after. There's proposals for $2,000 per month for families, but it only goes about 3 months after the pandemic is over. There's also another proposal, and this one is from Democratic Representative Ro Khanna out of California, and he even tweeted about this the other day. Ro Khanna stated that he wants to see $2,000 stimulus checks per month. However, he did not specify, is it per person? Is it per family? Is it per person with a social security number? Is it per adult, per dependent? We didn't know. But according to Jeff Stein from the Washington Post, he said he talked to Ro Khanna, and Ro Khanna specified that he is not talking about $2,000 per person. He's talking about $2,000 per household, and that would be per month for 3 months. After the 3 months is up, then Congress would go back and kind of reevaluate where things are at, reevaluate who saw the most growth and stability from these checks, and then they would possibly do another round of stimulus checks. But this right here is just one of these proposals. Other progressives are proposing $2,000 per month, but they all have a different take on who gets it, how long it goes, and can other people go and get this if later on they do qualify for whatever reason. Right now, this is just talks, but yes, there are more and more reports coming out of a $2,000 stimulus check per month, and all these are coming from Democrats. You probably knew that. No, there's no Republicans that are backing a $2,000 per month stimulus check at this point, but we will see what happens in the future. Chances are, if they didn't back a $1,400 stimulus check for a one-time payment, there's no way they're going to back a $2,000 per month stimulus check. So it's kind of what we're hearing there. We're also seeing that a lot of people are reporting that their stimulus checks were sent to the wrong accounts. They were sent to accounts with their social security number as the last 4 digits, which is most likely, it's very rare that you would ever see that, but that is something that is being reported. It's also being reported that the IRS has sent out many checks to some of these online tax preparers like TurboTax, H&R Block, even Jackson Hewitt. So just understand, if the IRS messed up for whatever reason, they're going to try to do their best to fix this. However they fix it, right now, we don't know. But according to reports, they will fix this. Maybe they will send you a stimulus check through direct deposit to your actual account. Maybe they will get the online tax preparer to go and just redistribute the money. What's going to happen in most cases, though, these tax preparers, being that they're having a lot of issues right now because they're filing taxes for millions of people, the issue is they will most likely just reject the payment. So it's going to come into your account through that tax preparer. The tax preparer will reject it. It will get sent back to the IRS. And once it does, what the IRS is going to do is they will send you a paper check or a prepaid debit card. If they do either one of those, the paper checks should be coming out on next week. So on March 22nd, that is when we could start to see them. And the prepaid debit cards will come out on March 29th, which is the Monday, which is in 2 weeks. But if the paper checks are sent out next Monday, You most likely won't see them until the week of the 29th anyway, so just keep that in mind. Now, some people are saying that their banks are holding their stimulus checks hostage. They will not give them their money. Here's what you need to understand. These checks will most likely be available sometime the middle of this week or the end of this week. According to Wells Fargo and Chase, and I mentioned this earlier this morning, those two banks, right now, they will not, and I repeat, they will not issue those stimulus checks until the funds are actually in their account. Right now, even though the IRS sent out the stimulus checks and they're coming, the money is still on hold. It hasn't shown up yet. So Wells Fargo and Chase Bank have stated they will not front you the money and then wait for the money to come and you'll land in their bank. They're not going to do that because they risk other things. So for the security of the bank, they're not going to do that. Some banks were able to front you the money, but Chase and Wells Fargo will not. Okay? If you have a different bank and you're worried about that, let me know. I know a lot of people have been referencing Chime. I do not use Chime. I've never used it. I don't know a lot of people that have used it. But one of the things that Chime is doing is if you open up a Chime account, and this is one of the ways they're kind of pushing people to, hey, open up an account, because if we get another stimulus check, you might be able to get it a little bit earlier. But honestly, I don't know if that really works. Some people are saying yes, they have Chime and they did receive their funds early, but that's just some people. The majority of people, I think, right now do have actual bank accounts, not really through Chime or other online platforms. So just keep that in mind. Another question. Will people on SSI and Ssdi get a stimulus check? And here's my quick answer is yes. If you receive the $1,200 check or the $600 stimulus check, yes, you will get the $1,400 stimulus check. It will most likely go to the same payout as the last one. So if you got direct deposit, chances are you'll get direct deposit again. If you got a paper check, chances are you're going to get a paper check. If you got a prepaid debit card, chances are you're going to get a prepaid debit card. So one thing I do want to say is if you didn't get either one of those, then what you need to do is go and fill out the non-filer tool. Now here's the problem is the IRS doesn't have it available as of right now. Let me look really quick. Yeah, it's still not available as of right now. There's no non-filer button, so you can't go and use the irs.gov tool at this point. However, someone from the IRS sent me an email later last night and saying that yes, the non-filer tool or the non-filer portal should be open. That button should be available probably within the next few days. So hopefully it is, because I know a lot of you guys are waiting for this money, and you need to use the non-filer tool. So outside of that, you can try calling into the IRS, but honestly, they are so overloaded right now. There's no point to even call. Wait and just be patient. Again, this bill passed 4 days ago. 4 days ago. And right now, the money that's going out is pretty much going out at record speed. So that's good news there. In regards to the stimulus checks, a few people have asked me, can stimulus checks still be garnished? And yes, they can. Because this bill went through a budget reconciliation, there is no way that Democrats could put in a provision to block the bill from blocking the stimulus check from being garnished, because that didn't actually impact the federal budget. So because of that, they had to pull it out. That's one of the cuts that had to be made. Now, we do know as of yesterday, the state of Maryland has passed a law to forbid stimulus checks from being garnished. So that is good news there. And I think other states are going to jump on board with that very soon. Most were not expecting the stimulus check to pass this quickly. So that's probably one of the reasons why a lot of these states didn't do that. However, they pretty much have this week to do it, because if they wait too long, the checks could be garnished. However, one thing I do want to state is that I did talk to somebody this morning. I do have a friend from a collection agency, and she let me know that no, their agency will not be doing any garnishments of stimulus checks at this time. They will most likely hold off on any garnishments for the month, simply because they do not want to take people's last dollars. Even though they could go and get the money and legally they have the right to do that, they say it would actually look bad on their part. So for helping out with the American people, they're not going to do this, but in exchange, they're hoping people will be able to start paying their collection bill very soon. So we'll see what happens there, but that is some good news. Now, she's not part of some big time collection agency. It's a smaller one, but she did say that is something that many people have been expressing over the past couple of weeks as well, that there was a chance there wouldn't be any type of law forbidding a garnishment. So we'll see what happens there. Now, another thing, people were wondering, should they put their money into savings? Should they put their money into stocks, pay off debt, spend it, stimulate the economy? Well, what experts are currently saying is that roughly 10% of the $411 billion that was spent on stimulus checks is going to be going into stocks and Bitcoin. Yes, the American people have decided, no, they want to ride this wave and they want to invest in stocks and Bitcoin. I think that's great. If you want to do that, I'll put a link down in the description box below where you can go and sign up for Webull. You just deposit $100 and they'll give you two free stocks valued up to $1,850. And the best part is you can also invest in Bitcoin. And you do not have to invest the full $50-some thousand in Bitcoin. You can invest $10, $5, even $1 at a time. It's really up to you. So I'll put a link down in the description box below. Make sure you use that link and go and get your 2 free stocks. Also, some experts are saying that they have put out many feelers from other experts, other financial analysts, financial advisors, and asked them what they recommend people do with their stimulus money. Well, the results came in, and right now experts are saying the first thing you need to do with your stimulus check is to pay down debt. The reason for this is if you pay down debt, you can now take the money you normally paid for that debt and you can roll that into savings and to other things. The second thing they tell you to do is pay off credit cards. Chances are in this pandemic, through no fault of our own, we've lost hours, wages, we've had to pay more for other things, and we've racked up credit card debt. So the second thing you should do is pay down your credit card debt. They've separated debts with credit card debt because a lot of people are saying right now their debts are okay. They are manageable because the banks are working with them, but the credit card companies are not. So this is where you should pay down your credit card bill. They also said the third thing you should do is set up an emergency fund. Most people recommend 3 months of expenses. I'd say anywhere between 6 months and a year is the best thing to do, but obviously it takes a little bit of time. You have to have a job, you have to have some income coming in order to be able to do that comfortably. Next thing is invest in the future. Some are saying you need to invest stocks, retirement accounts. You need to do all this stuff, right? Cryptocurrencies, bonds, whatever. Just invest. Put your money into something that you know is going to grow. The stock market, even though some stocks are currently fairly overvalued, it's still a good time to get in. And the last thing, and this is what they say is the final thing to do, is to actually spend your money on some things, okay? Non-essential spending. This means, buying products, paying for services. They say do everything locally. Do not buy off of Amazon. They say don't buy off Amazon because that's only helping Amazon. Go buy from a local store where your money can go into your community. The owners of the store can spend it on the workers, the employees, the business, the community itself. And if everybody does that, you should see your community rebound much faster than others. Now, as far as unemployment, this is a question I've been getting a lot lately, and I want to address this. For unemployment income taxes, what do we do to get the waiver of up to $10,200 in unemployment income? What do we do so we do not have to pay taxes on that? Here's what we are hearing from the IRS. The IRS says do not, I repeat, do not go and file an amended tax return. Okay? That's something I said before, you need to wait. According to the IRS, they're saying do not file an amended tax return, as this will require a personal review, and this will also cause even longer delays because when it requires a personal review, they're going to put you in the back of the line. So let's say you've been waiting for a few weeks and you're waiting for your tax return. Don't go and file an amended one. Hopefully you're going to get a partial tax return, and then the IRS is going to figure this out. Hopefully they will either do some type of form or they're going to automatically just give you the amount that you are currently owed. So that's what we're hearing there. That's good news as well, because I can tell you right now, if everybody that currently filed for unemployment or their income taxes for 2020 and claimed unemployment benefits, if they all had to do an amended tax return, the IRS is going to be really far behind. So that's good news that they're not going to do that. Another question is people keep asking me if they got their child support or their stimulus check of $1,200 garnished in the first round about a year ago. Can they go and claim that they never received their child or their stimulus check on their 2020 taxes that they're currently filing? Here's the answer. The answer is no. Even though your stimulus check was garnished, it does not mean you qualify for another one because you never received it. You technically did get it, but before you put your hands on it, the state or whoever pulled that money from you to pay off these other bills. Maybe it's for child support, maybe it's for the IRS, you owed back taxes or something, right? There's so many ways, but right now that's what we're hearing. So yes, you cannot get the $1,200 stimulus check. You should have already received the $600. That could not have been garnished. There was actually laws on that. As far as the $1,400 stimulus checks, they can still be garnished. However, the majority of people are currently saying they don't think this is going to happen. So only time will tell as to whether or not this does or not. We also know that the U.S., according to Dr. Fauci, he said today that the U.S. is actually looking into a 3-foot separation rule as opposed to 6 foot. What we do know is over the last year, many people have been staying 6 feet apart simply because that is what the rule has specified. However, he says that they could be going to a 3-foot rule because studies show that there's no difference between 3 foot and 6 foot, where as long as everyone is wearing a mask, that we should see no issues. He says this would also help schools open up faster and more safely. This would help businesses increase customers because have more customers because they can have more people in their store or restaurant at a time, because with the 6-foot rule, if you, and there's math behind it, I don't know the exact numbers, but if normally you have a capacity of, let's say, 600 people in your building, but now you only have there's a 6-foot rule, you might only be able to have 100 people capacity in your building. Now, again, that's simple math, but you get the idea. With a 3-foot rule, you could actually narrow that down where you'd have up to 200 people in your building. So that could increase customers there. And they also say this would allow travel to open back up a little bit safer because more people can get on trains, planes, automobiles, right? I don't know, but you get the idea. They can travel a little bit easier. People can pile into trains or planes a little bit easier, and they don't have to have a middle aisle separation in between them, which some airlines are not doing anymore, but there are still some that are. So right now, that's kind of what we're hearing. There's still a lot of talks going on with stimulus as far as not just passing this bill and what's coming from it, but we're still working on getting the money out for rental assistance from the $900 billion stimulus package that was passed over 2 months ago. So there's a lot of issues going on. I promise I'm going to keep you updated on everything. Again, there's so much happening right now regarding stimulus, regarding the economy, regarding unemployment, regarding just everything, right? The businesses opening up, people getting back to work, going back to school, everything. So as I know more, I promise I will share more. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends and family over on Facebook as well, so they too can stay updated. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.